should turn off my need to mute stuff.
Alright, we should be going live anytime now.
Alright. Yay, going live.
Alright. Can you guys see us yet?
Alright. Hey everybody! It's awesome to see you. I'm still refreshing YouTube. There we go. So I'm waiting to get in the chat room. There we are. So Fanny Anyo is on. Killer Glove is there. Dan Payton, Esther Roxo, Jonathan Lau, Keeson. Hey everybody! So I guess first and foremost, welcome to Sketch and Scotch. We love to see you guys. It's our weekly installment of art and just trying to get you guys to art in some way because art makes life better. And just a reminder, those people on Facebook, if you are on Facebook, we will not be responding to comments and stuff there. It's not really a real-time chat engine, and so we're not monitoring that. And then also on Twitch, it started getting really buggy over there, so we've actually moved our main chat to YouTube. If you look down at the bottom of the video, that's our where you will find the video and the chat room. So if you want to be part of the chat, come on over to that, or you can lurk in any of the other places. If that is where you get better video quality, then go there. We just leave it all up to you guys. So, yeah, and then Steve has a website, steveargyle.com. Upcoming events, we are going to be going, oh gosh.
So many.
So coming up, probably going to run us over like a train, is Gen Con. We will be at Gen Con. A cool thing that they'll be doing at Gen Con is Thursday night, and we'll have more advertising on this in a little bit. In the Magic area, they are hosting, Pastimes Games is hosting five artists to do, they're doing a portrait, 5 Magic artists are doing a portrait painting session of
Tappy Toe Claws.
Tappy Toe Claws, a cosplayer.
And Sketch and Scotcher.
And Sketch and Scotcher. So, yeah. We're going to be doing that at Gen Con. It's going to be Thursday night, I think around 7 in the Magic area. There's going to be Steve and Drew Baker and Aaron Miller and Tom Babby and who's my last one? Oh,
You were mentioning John.
No, he's gonna come. Because you just said that, you just totally threw off. He did the awesome painting upstairs for us, the one that's the death mask, or the mask.
Oh, Scott Murphy.
Thank you. Gosh, because he said the other day, my brain totally went off. Scott Murphy will also be painting with us. Jason Engel might come and paint. We'll see.
We're trying to tag him into
graces
it.
us with his presence. We took a picture. We made a mouse and like taped a paintbrush to the mouse because Jason draws with a mouse, and we told him that would make him feel better about live painting. So
for those of you who wonder what professional artists use to get their work done, Jason uses a mouse.
yeah, seriously.
So the tools aren't that important.
Yeah. So yes, yeah. Scott Murphy is also one of the guests of honors at Gen Con this year, so that's cool that we'll have him doing that live painting with us? Andy says, like a real mouse. Can I buy a pet one in the store? No, he probably doesn't do magic pieces with a real.
But you could probably paint with a real mouse. It'd just squirm a lot. But it probably has great bristles.
Oh, Rooster Friends is back. Cat's BFF's friends that she brought.
Why, hello.
Yeah. Jonathan just posted a thing that had a picture of a pencil, pen, paintbrush, crayon, inking pen. Yeah, whatever you guys do, however you get the job done. But these will all be painting. It'll be a live painting demo. You guys can come and watch during it. It'll be a 3-hour thing, so come anytime during the 3 hours. You can ask questions. We are gonna stream it too. I'm pretty sure it'll be on Steve's stream, and I'll try to link up to the other guys too. And so we're gonna try to stream that. That will be Thursday night of Gen Con. Not this Thursday. I think that's the 1st. What day is that, Steve?
I don't remember. I don't remember things.
It's 2nd. So, yeah. Anyway, Steve, I want you to draw. You need to do your Scoodle. Stop trying to avoid Scoodle. You only get to avoid Scoodle when people are drawing
only for
your
my birthday. Okay. What am I scoodling?
I want you to Scoodle a real mouse, painting with a real mouse.
Okay then.
So however you want to do that, however you interpret that. Well, actually, we could just say painting with a mouse. So the Scoodle is painting with a mouse, however you want to interpret that. Astrox was asking if we will answer stream questions. Yeah, I'll try to bring the stream questions in. I can't assure that we'll be on Twitch and Facebook, Twitch and YouTube, but we'll probably at least be on Facebook for that stream. We might be able to. I'm looking into bringing my laptop so that we can actually set up a full stream like you do here.
Mm-hmm. Might be good.
Because actually Scott's going to be there and he's going to help me with the AV stuff. And so
he's smart with camera things.
Yeah. And so Scott's going to be there. We might be able to get the whole stream set up with everything. The only problem is we won't have a dedicated internet connection there. I asked and we can't get one. So that's why I have a feeling it might end up just being from my phone, which means it will just be Facebook. So, I think it'll be Facebook, but we will answer Facebook questions. They show up a little better when you're actually shooting from a phone. Like the questions show up nicely, and the stream shows up nicely. It's kind of weird. Dan tells me to hotspot the phone. Yeah, I'm gonna hotspot my phone, but my hotspotted phone is not going to stream video to 3 different places. I'm just gonna be realistic on that. Like that's a recipe for destruction. Trying to hotspot phone stream to 3 different mediums. So.
Yeah, getting any kind of connection at a big convention like that it's a problem in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's after hours, so that will be a little better.
But it's in a great big building that's with steel construction, so the signal's not great to begin with. And then you have about, how many people at Gen Con? 80,000 people?
So many.
You've got about 80,000 people also using the cellular network. So we are usually lucky to get any kind of connection. We'll do our best.
After hours, it might be better. Yeah, we'll do our best. We talked about the hotspotting a phone, but I don't think a phone hotspot will be able to stream. Like we stream every night like this, or every Tuesday like this. So, not sure. Cat's BFF is on also now. So, I don't know. Those are the ideas. The thing is, you can buy internet there, but it's, what was it, $400 for the weekend?
I think it's more than that. It was
something
like 180
ridiculous.
a day. And of course you had to buy it for the whole weekend, so.
Yeah. So.
Gen Con has a pretty good convention, what do you call it? The
Convention Wi-Fi?
No, just the service that puts it all together. Fern,
the exhibitor service, the whatever. Yeah, those guys are awesome. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're compared to like a lot of other conventions, they're quite good, but that does not mean that they're cheap. And that's the problem is
yeah. The worst I think that I would rate is San Diego Comic-Con's Freeman. They're terrible. Steve, you're terrible. I love it. Keep going. Just a reminder for everyone, your Scoodle is painting with a mouse. That is what Steve is drawing. So, anyway, if you guys have any other questions about Gen Con, let us know. Yeah.
I am a little sad I'm not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
All right.
I have such mixed feelings about that whole show.
Steve, Keeson has a question.
Uh-huh.
Pause right there, freeze. Now let's lift your hand up and put it up to the camera. Keeson was asking, how do you hold your stylus?
Oh.
That's why I told you to freeze.
Like this.
He holds it like he holds a pencil.
Yeah, and I usually hold everything with 2 fingers and fairly loosely.
And then he does small little strokes a lot of times. He was asking like what kind of strokes. You can actually hear. I don't know if it's picking up, but you can hear his little.
Yeah, I either as force of habit, I tend to do the little squiggle down kind of thing, which is not recommended. It gives you fuzzy, furry lines. When I'm sketching quick, I'm usually like drawing from the elbow. Mm-hmm. But once I get into detail, I tend to do the fuzzier kind of stuff.
If Steve's not doing a straight line, he'll do like, you can kind of see him doing it. He does like a triple line almost to stuff. He'll do like a first pass to kind of get where it's gonna go, a second pass to do it better, and the last one to solidify it. I've been watching that. So he'll do like Oh, no go on the Planeswalkers from the Minions. All 4 people are people who didn't get the Hasbro lottery.
I think it'll work. I was considered the smallest thing I have, I think, is 6x8 canvases. But it's basically just a little portrait in oil. Either that for the whole set, or 5 little tone drawing sketches, one for each of the Planeswalkers, that can be traded a little bit more piecemeal. I mean, or I could just, buy them on eBay, but somehow that doesn't seem like I got them. That doesn't seem right.
I
mean, I don't know how much they're going to go for.
So one little painted original, or 5 little sketches, and you'll paint like high quality sketches that he'll trade for.
Yep,
one for each card.
Tone drawings on toned paper, so they've got highlights and they've got shading and all that.
Are you like volunteering my toned paper again?
Yes.
Tappy Toes is on.
Hi, Tappy.
Hi, Tappy.
We're drawing it with a mouse.
Yeah, so Tappy, we just told everyone about Gen Con and the portrait painting night on Thursday night. Hopefully you're still planning on it with us. Kat's BFF said that her 2 friends aren't on the stream commenting, but they're drawing. That's the most important
Excellent.
thing. Asteroxa says events start at 8 a.m., but the hall doesn't open until 10 a.m. How do events start at 8? They start in other rooms.
Yeah. So there's the exhibit hall, and that's what that's referring to. Events go on before and after and all the time. They're all over the place.
Yes, and did you see officially that Panda was descended? She became a descended minion.
A descended minion. How does that work?
She was descended. She asked to be descended because she doesn't like watermelon. See? So, to remind people again, our theme for the Scoodle is drawing with a mouse. This is Steve's take on this. Alright.
It's censorship minion.
Yes, it is censorship minion. I love censorship minions. Alright. That's a pretty cool little
Drawing with a mouse.
drawing with a mouse, Steve. Nicely done.
It's already turning out really not even recognizable.
Asteroxo asked a wonderful question. How quickly does the queue fill?
Oh, for any given show, it fills within a day.
No, it fills within an hour.
Oh, you mean at the show? Okay, yes. At the show each morning. So every show is different, but Gen Con tends to be the people who come straight to us.
And there's one problem I'm going to put forward.
But you can't run.
You can't run. Please don't run. And the first day, they actually let the VIGs, the very important gamers, you pay extra for a badge, they get in a whole hour earlier than everyone else.
Yeah. So usually, at least that first day.
Usually the first day, they don't fill the queue all the way, but they pretty much take almost all of that up. Yeah. And that's, I guess that's what they get for doing that. But that's the only day they do that, is Thursday morning. And then the other days, they don't let people in early. So.
It's a Model T.
Oh gosh, you're terrible. Yeah, Panda said it confirmed the queue at Gen Con fills up very quickly.
Yes. Gen Con has a lot of people and limited hours. And it's my oldest show too, so there's lots of folks who come back every year. So.
Mm-hmm. I need to tell them what we're doing this year for our metal prints again.
Oh.
We kind of told them last week, but.
Well, we killed Bumblebee and we have recycled him into prints. If you've been to Gen Con before, or we've had them at a couple other shows, Dragon Con, Vegas, we do these metal prints. And we have new ones that are cooler than any ones we've done before.
The other ones are nice, but Drew Baker is now able to do metal prints, and so he really worked on the process really in depth.
And so they look like foil.
We had them at Vegas is where we premiered them.
Yes. They're only going to be available through the shows. Because we tried selling metallic paper prints on the website, at one point, and we just got email after email after email of, but what do they look like? It's like, they look, but we have pictures, but like how are we supposed to show you?
And no, we're not doing video.
And video didn't. We tried that. It didn't really work, and so to avoid all of that, we just are only going to do them at shows.
Yep. And Asteroxo and Killer Glove are confirming that they are very, very pretty. Our other metal ones have been very nice. These ones, however Drew's doing them, they look like they're foil.
Yeah.
They're very, very nice. And Killer says, I was there Saturday, 8:15 a.m., and they only had like a couple not sold out. Yep.
They do sell fast.
And we're going to have some unique ones that I'm actually more proud of. And we're going to have our regulars. Thalia, Liliana, Deathrite. But we're going to have some more unique ones. We're going to have some of Steve's new pieces available too. So, yeah.
So we got some, if you saw what I posted yesterday, the Dragoborn Angel of Death lady, we're going to do that one because as opposed to a lot of other types of prints, stuff that's dark looks really cool. Like Damia Sage of Stone.
I want that sharp color through it. Damia looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Admonition Angel. Yes, we will have Brightling Astroxo. My favorite, though, is not a dark one. It's one with beautiful color. My favorite is Renewed Faith.
Oh, yeah, that one looks really good.
Renewed Faith we will have also. It looks so great.
And we will have one of my Terminator pieces because I was like, I got to do Terminator, so I want to do that one. And it'll be, metal on metal.
Oh, you put one of the Terminator on?
I think so.
I don't think you did.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm lying.
We're going to have prints of it, but
You're right. I think the aspect ratio didn't work.
It didn't work at all because it's
square.
square.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably
not. We are not going to have Terminators in metal, but we will have prints of them.
Yes.
Keeson was asking about the pre-order. Yes, pre-order queue. We opened the pre-order queue a month before a show, and it fills up within a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was done a while ago.
When you first asked about the queue, that's what I thought you meant, was like, how long does it take to... And I wish I could put more time into them, but I already do for regular GPs at least a week. And for big shows like Gen Con and Vegas and stuff like that, I'll set aside like 2 or 3 weeks, and I just can't do more than that.
Yeah.
And that's when the queue closes. Is I have everything laid out, and so when this order comes in, it's like this takes this much time. When this order comes in, that takes this much time. And so when it's like, okay, that's my 2 weeks, then I close it.
It's usually about a day.
And yet it happens fast.
And Keeson says he might send his card to Ostroxo to get him to get it altered. Feel free, however you want to work on those sort of things. We will be doing them at the shows. And Astroxo's whole family's going to be there.
Awesome.
I know we get to meet Cat's BFF and Mini Astroxo. So excited. And of course, Bethany will be there too.
Awesome.
Bethany? Is that? No. Yeah. Wait. Astroxo's wife. Is that Bethany? Am I a bad friend? Correct me, Astroxo. Now I doubt myself all night. I've been super doubting myself. Astroxo's saying he doesn't know if he'll get in the queue in time. But hey, you'll have 4 days to try.
And you have stuff in the pre-order already, so you'll get something, at least.
And we actually are a bit more strict also. We don't have as many time slots at a convention because the floor closes.
Yeah, they kick us out just like everybody else.
At 6. Instead of us being able to stay till 10 o'clock at night, the floor closes at 6. Oh, they only have Sunday, Astroxo.
Yeah. Sunday. So even though Sunday is slower for some stuff, Sunday is kind of the last chance, and so we usually do fill up pretty fast on Sunday. It's all the people who have been coming and missing for the rest of the time.
Mm-hmm. Although in some ways it's a little slower. Some people...
Yeah, some people leave before Sunday. Like, they don't actually...
Yeah.
If they're traveling, sometimes they'll travel on Sunday instead of...
The queue on a GP fills up surprisingly fast on a Sunday because people are seeing stuff from the rest of the week. But the queue at a convention, if anything, Sunday's probably the slowest. I'd usually say Thursday is, but Thursday
Except
has
for
the VIGs.
Yeah.
But, so yeah. No, Cat's BFF is gonna they're mostly coming to see us.
Oh, that is awesome.
I know! I'm so excited! Anyway.
Gen Con's a great show.
It's my favorite of all. Like, I have other things I like about other shows, but just overall convention feel and everything, Gen Con's just the tried and true favorite. I love Dragon Con, I love Luca, for all different reasons, but just Gen Con's just solid. It's like family.
Yeah, Gen Con feels like home.
Yeah.
We've been doing, this will be my 12th year at Gen Con.
I don't know how many years, probably like 6 or 8.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Astrox Quiet Sea is going to be there also.
Awesome.
So he asked if Quiet Sea is going to be there. And also Scott is going to be there, though he's not going to be much at our booth. He's working that weekend.
He is working with the Light Seekers guys.
Yeah.
Converting a younger generation to a newer kind of game.
But Scott will be helping out at the stream on Thursday night. So that'll kind of be, I guess, our sketch and scotch for the week is we'll just live stream Steve and all the other artists doing the awesome portrait painting. I'm really excited about it. So,
And
it'll be cool to have 5 artists all together painting.
Yes, that takes some of the pressure off of me.
The Tabby actually put it in there. She says, "I love Gen Con. It's a singular kind of convention experience." The best way to describe it, like Steve said, is it feels like home. Dragon Con is party. It's Mardi Gras for nerds. Like, Luca is, I mean, it's a freaking Italian convention, and it's in a freaking walled city, so it's like so authentic feeling. But Gen Con just feels like home. So.
Gen Con was my first convention.
So John Michael asked, how much does banning affect how much prints you sell and cards you sign?
Usually, either way, boosts it, at least temporarily. So when Bloodbraid got banned, everybody wanted to get the prints and the playmats and the stuff signed because just because it's in their head, right? It wasn't so much that, well, now that it's banned, I need to get it signed. It's just like, oh, right, that card, I should get that signed, or I should get a print or whatever. Like our Bloodbraid or our Deathrite Shaman stuff did really well in Brazil, even though it had just been banned, and it's because people are thinking about it.
Well, it's that, and but to contrast, after an unban, the sales are continually up.
Yeah,
they go up.
It's instead of a spike, it's a.
So I guess the good thing, though, is to kind of answer on that too is, Bloodbraid Elf is now outselling Deathrite Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Our best sellers, surprise, surprise, Liliana, then Thalia, then Deathrite. But Bloodbraid has now actually overtaken, or is working on overtaking Deathrite. So.
I'm interested to see if the success of Brightling in the Death and Taxes Legacy deck.
Yeah, that's the one. We haven't had a show since Brightling became really popular, and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I mean, she did okay in Vegas. we don't have playmats of her, so in some ways it's kind of hard to judge.
Yeah.
We want to do playmats. We want to do a Kickstarter just to let people know. We want to kickstart Breitling, and basically, if everyone backs it, I'm pretty sure that won't kick, but we're going to put a Kickstarter up for Breitling, and that's how we'll get the backing for the playmats for that.
Yeah.
Breitling's $40 now.
40? Oh, wow.
That's what Astroxa just said.
Wow. Oh.
We need to do that. I probably won't be able to, but maybe we should look into doing that Kickstarter before Gen Con.
Yeah,
Not that we'd have the
we
prints
should,
that
because
we
then
do
we
the
can
playmats at Gen Con.
we can promote it at Gen Con.
Yeah, we might want to try that.
One of the things about the Magic playmats is they take a while to get made. We have to get them in bulk,
2 or 3 months.
and they take a few months. So
well, and that way also you should put the email in the request in for the art.
yes,
Astroxa asked if he was the first Breitling altar.
I think so. Yes, there was.
No, there was 2 Breitling altars.
No. Yeah,
Which
there
one?
was. The first one was the Spider Gwen and Spider Man.
Yeah.
So yours was not the first, but you were close.
Keeson says he wants the signed one to be altered, and he has a perfect idea for it.
Excellent.
All right, this is where I have to ask something on the Breitling altar, Steve.
Uh-huh.
So most of the people on here know. So a single altar is a single background, a single character, no background, doesn't break frame.
Uh-huh.
A
But since
double
there are
is
two
2 characters. So are most Breitling altars, if they want 2 characters, going to be a double?
I don't think so.
If they wanted to break frame down into the bottom or something, then yes.
Yeah. But if you want the whole character, like all the way down to the bottom, then that would be what a double is that you get 2 complete characters. But if you just want the top half changed, then yeah, that'd be a single for both of them.
So,
There's already been some
again, the other
interesting-
one that I love, and I think everyone I've ever talked to agrees, the best foiling I've ever seen, and like I said, it's my favorite of your metal prints now, Renewed Faith. The foil on that is so pretty. Hey, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks nice. They did a really good job on that one.
Yeah, you've done 3 altars on Breitlings, I think. Astroxa did the Fire and Ice and Fire.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy did the Spider Gwen, and then you also did the Vin one.
Yes. Vin and Lady Villette.
That was cool. John Michael just said, wait, you have metal prints now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we will reiterate what we said earlier. We have metal prints available at certain conventions. We will have them at Gen Con, and it's pretty much the only place you can get them. Like we were saying earlier, it's just too hard to demonstrate and show on the website how it looks. So they will be a con exclusive. I'm pretty sure we'll have them at Dragon Con also. So kind of the surefires on it is that we'll probably always have them at Vegas, Gen Con, and Dragon Con is where you'll be able to get metal prints. They might not always be available at any of the others, but those are the 3 places to get metal prints. We will be bringing some extras. The metal prints with Drew printing them are not as big as our usual display copies. They are 16 by 24 inches. And they will be framed, and they're $220. Or, what was it? 220. Ogre knows
The unframed cost? We're
no,
going to
the
frame
frame
them all,
cost.
yeah.
They're all going to be framed. No, it's 2, so it's, oh, I remember what it is. It's
the
$220 for 1, $420 for 2, or $600 for 3. Keeson wants to know if you read your email, the email yet. I don't know. Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Probably. Is it the one you sent after Vegas, or is this new? Because if it's new, then maybe not. I'm often a couple days behind on email.
Tappy asked where the booth is going to be at Gen Con. Do you remember
Booth
the number?
571.
571. It's close to where we were last year, but it's one row over because it's right next to the art show.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're coming in the main entrance and you head toward the art show, you will... You won't pass us, but
we are on the left side past the art show.
Yes.
Up past the art show. That is a wonderful question, Tappy. Thank you. 571, and it's Troublemaker Island, so it's us, Drew Baker, and Jason Engel. To be honest, our booth will probably be facing the food court right there. There's a food court right there, and that's what we will be facing. Either the food court or that giant barrier again, that barrier wall. So that our booth will probably be facing that way because we do an end cap, but we give Jason and Drew. I'm not sure exactly how our booth will be set up, but the three of us will be over there. Yep, Troublemaker Island. Yeah. All right, it looks like people are asking questions, which means it's time for a commercial break.
Commercial break.
Commercial break is brought to you by... Steve, do we have a brought to you by? No.
Torvalds high proof moonshine. I don't actually have a sponsor, I guess.
So we just like to remind people, if you are on Facebook or on Twitch, we are not responding to comments or chats there. We're on YouTube for our discussion, and the chat information is at the bottom of the video. It's the youtube.com/user/Steve Argyle spelled out DOT calm. That's where we're doing the chat. Feel free to watch on the other places if those work better for you, but this is just where we're doing the chat. Steve has a website. Go check that out, steveargyle.com. Like, love, and share, and tell everyone all about, and follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, do that subscribe thing.
Subscribe. Yeah, and then it'll tell you when we're up. It'll be awesome. And then the scoodle for tonight is painting with a mouse is the theme. However you want to interpret that. So. Yeah. And then, our next upcoming show is Gen Con. And it's going to be super fun. We will be here next week. It's going to be the greatest. We will be here for Sketch and Scotch next week, but not the week after. The Sketch and Scotch replacement the week after will be that we'll try to stream the portrait painting session that will happen at Gen Con.
Which is featuring Tappy Toe Claws.
Yes, Tappy Toe Claws is going to be the model for a portrait painting session. We have 5 magic artists painting. It's going to be in the magic area, and it is hosted by Pastime Games, because they were super nice to help me put that together. And so it's Scott Murphy, Aaron Miller, Drew Baker, Tom Babby, Steve, and maybe Jason Engel.
We're trying to peer pressure him into it.
Yes. And so there is 5 confirmed magic artists that will be doing the live portrait painting. You can come, ask questions, and like I said, we'll try to stream it, and you'll be able to ask questions. That streaming will probably end up happening on Facebook, on Steve's Facebook.
We're being a little unfair to Jason because he is... I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh.
Keep going.
I was going to say, I might want to look into YouTube and streaming to YouTube, but Facebook is just so easy to stream from a phone. That's all I was going to say.
We're being a little unfair to Jason because he's a digital artist and he paints with a mouse. That's why the the Scoodle is painting with a mouse. I don't know how he does that, but he does, and so it's a little unfair of us to ask him to get in front of a bunch of people and do something he's never done before, or mostly never done before. We did a little bit of a collaborative painting at Luca last year, and he did great. But I can certainly see how that's not the most comfortable scenario.
Well, you're the same way. You're mostly digital.
Yes, I'm mostly.
And this was
digital.
our idea. This was our terrible idea, Steve.
But I've been getting some practice.
Well, Jason actually, when I suggested it to him, he wasn't at all like, I thought he might be like, oh, but that actually didn't sound like a concern to him at all. It was mostly just, Gen Con
timing.
is so busy.
Yeah, and there's so many people
every night you have stuff booked and planned and everything. So I thought he might give me crap about, oh, really, you're going to do a paint? No, that didn't at all in any way. Like, he didn't even seem to blink at that. It was... For him, he's just like, I don't know if I've got the time. So.
Yeah, that I can certainly understand.
Dan says we should get Jason on Sketch and Scotch to demonstrate his mouse technique. We should get Jason on Sketch and Scotch.
We might be able to, for Salt Lake City. Wait, he's not coming to Salt Lake City this year, is he?
Yes.
Okay, right.
But I don't think he's staying until Tuesday. Although... It depends on how much of mask history there, Steve. Because what happens is we go to Dragon Con, we come back on Tuesday from Dragon Con and go set up on Wednesday for Salt Lake City Comic Con.
Yeah.
So it'd mean we'd be getting back Tuesday night and trying to do a show on Tuesday night. And so I don't know if we'll do that. We'll have to talk more about that. But that'd be... Jason is, I think, flying in on Tuesday with us, too. So maybe we'll be able to get him on Sketch and Scotch, but we'll have to talk to him. Wen said that they love Aaron's oil paintings. We do, too. And Tom Babby is also very known for doing oil painting. Well, like sketching, really good like live sketching stuff. So Aaron suggested that we invite him to do the live demonstration painting. Tappy says, my life is over for the next 3 weeks. Local, it's a local con, GP, it's a GP and then Gen Con. Wow, you... Happy, take care of yourself. That sounds really rough.
Yeah. I
am sorry, Tappy. That sounds super, super rough.
That is so much.
Steve used to do stuff like that, and we just eventually changed it, so now...
Yeah, we
do one a month, maybe. The worst one is Salt Lake and Dragon Con, and the only reason we're doing that is because we live in Salt Lake. So... Otherwise, we would not do something like that. Minnesota, Asterox are correcting me. I'm bad at that. It was GPMN. I'm like, Minneapolis. I guess it's the same thing. But my brain froze. I'm sorry.
Happens to the best of us.
Especially when it's like, well, I guess I don't have the camera on me, which is even better. But you like camera on you, ready, set, perform. And so that's why I really think you drawing for people like this is amazing, because it's very hard to draw and talk at the same time.
Yeah, it's like different parts of your brain are arguing with each other, because I have an inner dialogue about what I'm doing, And so if I have to say, if I'm supposed to also be entertaining and talk to people and stuff like that, it's like I have to keep switching tracks.
You haven't had to do a hand check in a long time, though, for you. Doing Sketch and Scotch has been helping train.
It has. It's been good for me in that respect, in the multitasking kind of stuff.
Keeson says everyone should go to GP in Vancouver.
We're doing Montreal. I know that's not even close, but we do like one Canada show a year, and last year was Toronto. We haven't made it out to Vancouver yet, though.
Oh, Anya says to Tappy, with one event, she already got sick.
Oh, you got con funk already?
Take plenty of water and eat well. I'm sorry you got sick, Anya. I hope you feel better by now. Tappy says, I'll be okay. I have dinosaur handlers to take care of. I'll put it out there for you also. Anya actually came and helped us. She didn't hide. But Tappy, if you ever need a place to hide at a cons need more hiding than GPs. GPs, it's easy to go kind of just take a break and hide. They have seats
and they have
chairs.
Tables. Like
And tables.
Most of what you're doing is sitting and playing.
But at conventions, they don't have that. You just are exhausted. And so we actually used to hide. Christine Sprinkle would come to our booth for her lunch break at conventions because she'd come with her handler, but both of them were eating lunch. So I'd just take over handler duty, and she'd sit at the back of the booth, and I'd just basically
shoo people away.
I'd become the handler. I'd run the interference, kind of like I do with Steve.
Yeah, because it's really hard to be polite but try and eat at the same time, and so
it's good hard to eat in costume.
Yeah,
and you don't want people watching you trying to eat in cosplay too.
And so even there, even when like she's at the back of the booth facing nothing, with Kat guarding, it was still like every 3 minutes somebody come up. Oh, can I get her to come out and take a picture with me? And it's like, we understand that you want that and that's cool and everything, but you have to wait.
Just tell them, she's eating right now. She'll be at this booth at this time. So Dan says he got his first ever con funk was last Comic-Con. He had to do a book signing. The air conditioning failed, so it was super hot, and then I went to super cold.
But it's always
said
better.
Her bronchitis. She got bronchitis. So.
But it's always better to have a hiding place where somebody else can disappoint people for you.
Yep. I'm the bad cop.
Plus, then you don't have to stop to answer while you're eating.
Yeah.
I know it seems like these things never occur to you until you're there. Like I remember the first time I noticed that, we were at Comic-Con and we were supposed to have a meeting with Felicia Day. We were really excited, but Comic-Con sucks, and we actually couldn't get there. Our booth was 100 feet from where they were.
But we got so redirected as it took us 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah, security it's not San Diego Comic-Con security. It's all the big studios' private security. They wouldn't let us use our own aisle to walk to the next place. They're like, no, we need this for our line. It's like, right, well, we've paid like $5,000 for this spot, so you can't use it for your line. Well, so anyways, it took us like an hour to get 100 feet. And by then, we more or less missed it, but Felicia was doing her lunch, and she's like cowering in this corner, trying to make sure nobody could see her, and then like all of these people were a circle around her facing out, so it was even harder to see her, and anybody who was coming up, they could answer the questions. And it was still just like mobs of people that just did not. I get that you don't really realize that. You think, oh, they're eating, but I just have a quick little thing. Problem is, she had like 500 people who wanted a quick little whatever, and that's the first time I thought like how crazy celebrity must actually be.
That was Felicia Day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so we actually were getting to talk to her because There's some things we miss about San Diego Comic-Con. Not a lot, but there's some things. And some of them are just the people we saw every year. So Vince Queso from, he was
Blades in
the Guild. He was actually a good friend of ours, and he stopped by and saw us every year. He was really awesome and super nice and great to talk to. And so he was actually getting us over to talk to Felicia and had set up a little arrangement for us to talk to her. And then Janet Quiet Sea got ran over by Felicia Day at a party.
I guess it was a few years later, same at Comic-Con, the Planeswalker party.
Yeah, there's a party afterwards, and Felicia Day totally stepped on Janet. It was funny.
It was dark and loud and crowded.
Mm-hmm. It was a club. You step on people at clubs. Everyone steps on everyone at clubs because it's a club. But that's Janet's claim to fame. She got stepped on by Felicia Day. So anyway, that was super fun. Make sure to get your, I haven't been pushing it too much, but make sure to get your Squirmwork and your Scoodle in. The link to the page is in Little Doodly-Doo, the description. So make sure the Squirmwork topic was narwhal jobs.
Yes, narwhal careers.
Narwhal careers. And the Scoodle.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for the Scoodle too. The Scoodle is painting with a mouse.
I'm excited for that as well. You guys are very creative.
So Jeremiah came on and he says he wanted to stop by and say his appreciation for that Liliana Artist Proof painting you posted over Facebook. He was wondering if it was oil.
It is oil, yes. I have found that I've tried a variety of things, and I know a lot of alturists really like acrylic. I did acrylic for a while, and it's definitely got its advantages, but I've really come to like oil, even at that tiny size, because you can blend things so easily. And with acrylic, you kind of have to layer with something really thin, or you have to very carefully mix your colors so that you can go opaque, but a little bit at a time. And I'm not an expert in acrylic by any means, so don't don't take my word for it.
Hand check.
But yeah, oil, it takes a few passes, but that's normal for oils. But I've found I can get it to do what I want it to do, whereas with the acrylic, I always felt like it was a little too rough. It was hard to get smooth transitions. It was hard to get subtle color variations. And some of that was just my lack of experience. So,
Tappy was going to try to do a drawing break, but she's got to get the sleeves done. She's got to finish hemming sleeves. Jeremiah then asked, how are you even drawing oil on a sketch card AP, though? Actually, Steve throws things in the oven.
Yeah, sometimes I cook them.
And our oven actually has this like warming mode. It's just like 180 degrees or something like that. It's a warming drawer, so we just tuck them in the warming drawer. It helps dry them a little, like time. The other thing with artist proofs is that Steve does put a base layer down. On artist proofs and stuff like that. He'll do a paint on primer for, if it's an ultra on the front of a card, it'll be a paint on primer, clear primer, or
on the front I don't do that.
I thought you did a little base primer. Oh no, you do a base acrylic layer that acts as primer. So he'll do the base flats for the colors as a primer layer on card alters, on the oil painted card alters. Mm-hmm. For artist proofs, he will put a primer on the back of that card too.
Yes, because artist proofs, the material sucks. So you saw how it had the white border. A lot of people who get artist proofs, they want to have they want to make sure that it is provable, I guess, that it is an artist proof. So the first thing I'll do is I'll mask out a border. But then the next thing I do, the first real thing I do, is I will put down primer or
those things are slick.
Or some kind of a sealant. Well, there's a bunch of different. You guys who play Magic, the cards keep changing.
Tabby says your drawer in the oven is not a warming drawer, it's a proofing drawer.
It is a
for
proofing
bread.
drawer. Absolutely, yes. But like some of the artist proofs, if you put oil down on them, the surface is too papery, and so it'll actually kind of warp and mess up that way. Some of them are so plasticky that stuff won't stick to them. So
you need a consistent.
You put down a primer. I do the same with like the Black Thumb proofs, even though I'm just doing pencil, because the surface on those proofs. Yeah. And when people ask like how I get such detail and stuff like that, it's that I'm not really drawing on an artist proof. I'm drawing on a nice primed surface that I used gesso for a while. Gesso would curl some of the cards. That was a problem. So now I use the Tester's miniature acrylic.
So one of our friends is actually, when you call her a world-renowned.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Marike is our friend. She's a world-renowned mini artist, a miniatures painter. She paints miniatures, and she's world-renowned Marike. If you're into that world, you probably have heard of her name. And I do minis occasionally. And so the thing she really recommended for a primer was this really, really nice Japanese primer called Testors. And it's
Testors.
And it's
or Test, sorry.
Test.
I can spell.
Testor. Testors. It's a little tiny thing. It's a little expensive, but the grit on it, or however you want to do it, the spray is so fine.
Yeah.
That's the wonderful thing about it. And especially on a mini, you don't want to fill in all those cracks and those fine details with your primer. And so she recommended that to me, and I've used it ever since. The Testors is amazing.
It's very fine, it's very opaque, and then the surface when it dries is, it's matte, but it's not so matte that it's rough. It's a lot like a nice paper. That's why I do it for the Black Thumb Artist Proofs. And then the rest of the process for the Black Thumb Artist Proof is I will seal that, I'll seal the pencils, with a satin, Krylon satin acrylic clear coat. Satin is...
He's tried tons of different clear coats. That one's just the tried and true.
The satin is nice because it's mostly smooth. It has just the tiniest bit of tooth. And that's what I'll do the graphite powder with, because it's really, really smooth. That's what gets those really nice blendy transitions where you don't see little scratch marks. It looks smooth. And then I can pull out highlights with a little kneaded eraser, or I can texture it with a kneaded eraser, which is really cool.
Yep. By the way, Astroxo says he wished he could get an acrylic altar adamantium. You are no longer doing those ones. Aren't those off the menu?
Oh yeah, the acrylic.
Those adamantium ones are not on the menu anymore. Steve just found that oil worked way better, and it didn't save time. So acrylic ones are no longer something. They're always just going to be oil.
Yeah, is there a reason you wanted those
I
as
think
opposed
that one,
to
if you
oil?
remember, those ones were the cheaper ones.
They were cheaper. That's true.
That was your more discount original painting, and sadly enough, the amount of time you ended up still spending on them, it's not really. Those are probably no longer available.
Yeah.
He ended up spending almost as much time, and he just didn't even like the medium as much. So.
Yeah, I was wrestling a lot because I like having a smoother transition, and I like detail, and I like I don't like things as messy for my particular style. I love other people's messy stuff, but when I'm doing it, I'm like, I need to fix this. I kind of wish I could let go and be a looser artist. I genuinely do. But acrylic was harder to be clean with. And I was struggling with that and not getting
Dad said you're magic. You've heard of fire mages and water mages. You're an art mage.
I like that.
Jonathan Lau said unicorn foiled altars soon. I don't even know how that works. Though, to speak up, we will have unicorn blood altars at
Not altars, just
unicorn blood signatures. But that's actually where I wanted to go, and now I just screwed it up. If you have an altar, a pre-existing altar, and you want a unicorn blood signature, it can't happen. We haven't been asked by many people.
It,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would not test that. If you get the unicorn blood done, signature done first, and then the altar done, it'll work just fine. But the unicorn blood process, unicorn intestinal fluids they react poorly with markers. So I don't think that would happen.
We might try testing it before we come, but most likely it would ruin the altar. It would make it a little. It would apply a texture to the altar, and that would.
Dan also asked how Wedge is doing.
He's recovering.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing fairly well.
Tappy also gave a good update. Tappy says he's in recovery and he's very determined to get better and he's in generally high spirits.
Yes.
And Tappy also said the outpouring from the community support is super heartwarming and he's incredibly touched and humbled and inspired. So. Jeremiah said thank you for the oil sorcery tips. Oil Mancy.
If you want more, what I use as my medium is I forget the brand, but it's a detail medium. It's
I got nothing for you right now, dude.
Any detail medium will do it.
It's not your walnut alkyd, is it?
No, I don't really use the walnut alkyd on the altars anymore. It's just a little thicker than I want. The detail medium thins it out, it dries fast, and it does what it says. It makes the oil paint more inky.
Here, you want me to look it up for you, Steve?
Yeah, it's just right there. We can show you because this is where I oil paint too. This is my proper studio.
No, you oil paint more at Howard Lyons.
That's a very good point.
Liquid fine detail?
Liquid. Yes, liquid fine detail.
This.
And just like is proper for oil painty stuff,
it's covered in oil.
It's all oily and gross. Covered in oil. I use tiny brushes. That's probably fairly obvious. And because you're using the medium and you're applying it really thin, the drying time is fast anyway. If you want to leave it overnight, it'll be dry enough to paint on in the morning.
When to be done, do not seal an oil painting. Steve has learned from this. Do not seal an oil painting on a fine one like that for at least 3 days. Try to keep it for a week or two.
Yeah, once oil paint kind of dries to where you can touch it and nothing comes off and stuff like that, but it doesn't really dry for a long time. And I've made the mistake of doing some of the pre-order stuff, not last minute, but only a few days before the show.
Last minute, Steve, that's what that's called.
Okay, right. For oil painting, that's last minute.
But you've been putting oil paint on altars as we've been walking out the door for a plane.
I haven't been that bad. For oils, yes. I've been doing that with paint markers. I've finished stuff on the plane with the regular paint marker altars, but usually I do.
You've sprayed down the last coat an hour or two before the sealer
Oh, when did I do that?
You've done that a couple times. You put the sealer on an oil painting when we're going out the door.
Don't do that.
But that one, they had a little bit of time to dry, and then he was sealing them. So.
Well, yeah. If it's the sealer, that's okay. But so last year at GP Vegas, I had an overwhelming amount of stuff. You may remember, if you saw, I posted like 20 something artist proofs, and there were those were the ones that had. So the last few of them had some trouble, and what it was in places that got more work than others, it wasn't as dry, and they looked fine. They were dry to the touch, but they took them home and put them in cases. And
you put them in cases.
Well, I put them in cases. When
they were quite dry.
When they took them out, little bits, those places that had a little bit thicker oil paint, stuck to the case instead of the card. Now we fixed it all. They sent them back, and it's all good. But that was a lesson to me to not
calm down, slow down.
Let them dry for realsies. And I don't think that's a problem you guys would have. It's me that it's like I have to get this done because I'm going to hand it off. If you just paint your thing and then let it sit there for a while, you're good.
All right, Steve, it is 6:09, so let's say in 5 minutes we're going to go over the squam work and the scoodle. So you've got that much time to get your squam work and scoodle. Again, the place, you need to digitize your art somehow, and then you link it to our Google Doc, which is in the description /doodly-doo for in YouTube. And yeah, this, just to remind people, this sketch is being done we should probably get it done sooner.
Yeah,
This is going to be for a
Kickstarter
for Wedge to raise money for him, for his medical stuff. Because, while he's starting to heal, the medical bills are going to be a bit crazy and everything like that. So they're going to do a Kickstarter. They're going to have a couple different playmats from different artists. I think Pete Moorbacher's another one. And they're going to sell these playmats to benefit Wedge, and so this is going to be one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got my Gen Con pre-orders, and then once those are done, I'm just going to finish this. So it won't be long.
Are you guys going to keep doing YouTube instead of Twitch going forward? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
We were getting a lot of complaints, and it was just getting worse and worse on Twitch. And over the last month that we were on Twitch, the stream just wasn't streaming proper. And it always interrupts you with the commercial breaks, and then when you reload, it doesn't have the chat in there anymore. I personally, just from an admin point of view or an MC point of view, I'm actually liking YouTube a lot more. My only complaint about YouTube is that the chat window is tiny.
I hadn't noticed. I never see the chat.
Yep, it's dead. It keeps trying to come back.
Right after we say
Astroxo yelled, Wes! Dan said the ghost of Twitch is here killing the stream.
I think you may be right.
All right, it's back.
Huzzah! Okay.
Sorry about that. That is very, very funny timing.
Yeah.
But even then, I think I'm still staying on YouTube because the Twitch ones were just consistent hiccups through the whole show. It was very frustrating. So, anyway. No, I'm not going back to Twitch. Twitch did that same thing you guys saw there, but throughout the whole show. It was really frustrating. Especially because every time it would reload, it would do the commercial breaks too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I agree. That one I don't think was the ghost of Wes. I think that one was the ghost of Twitch. Gonna blame that on that.
We offended Twitch.
John says it's time for Facebook. Yeah, Facebook doesn't have a chat engine, so no.
Yeah, that's the problem with Facebook is that you guys can chat, but while we're streaming, we don't see the stuff that you're saying.
We started out on only Facebook, but we kept finding that like people were getting really frustrated because they were trying to talk at us, and we were answering. And what happened is when we stopped the video, then suddenly all of their comments would show up, and I felt really bad because we weren't replying to people well. And it wasn't updating everyone's information. And like I said, it wasn't a chat back and forth. It's just a comment board. Which, yeah. Okay, Steve, you almost ready for?
Sure, I'm ready whenever.
Alright, let's go look at some Squamworks.
Squamwork! Okay.
So, the Squamwork theme again. Actually, let's do our commercial break. This commercial break is just to stop and tell you that, like we were just discussing, well, Tappy Toes, who's one of the Twitchers, she's going to cosplay as a character, and we got 5 different magic artists who are going to do live portrait painting session of her at Gen Con. Awesome, huh?
It's going to be cool.
And we're going to stream it on that, it'll be the Thursday night that we're gone to Gen Con. If you want to watch it, it'll probably be on Facebook, though.
So the first Squamwork is Dan. He's got the crocheting narwhal. Totally makes sense. It's got that pointy bit. Great little crocheting tool.
Yeah, he'd be a wonderful crocheter, don't you think, Matt? A narwhal crocheter?
Maybe team knitting.
Team knitting? Is that a thing? Team knitting?
2 narwhals.
So yeah, the Scoodle or the Squamwork from last week was narwhal careers.
I said team narwhal knitting.
Because I always wait until the very last second to even start thinking about what the Squamwork should be. Why aren't you copying? Alright. I have to do it this way. Okay. This is Rooster's Narwhal Teacher.
Aww, that's so cute, Rooster. And thank you for doing Squamwork. I think this is Rooster's first Squamwork. Rooster's been doing Scoodles, but not Squamwork. Rooster already went to bed, but said goodnight. But they got up there. That's so cute.
That's awesome. And the
teacher Did you see the unicorn in the background? Unicorn plus a fish equals narwhal.
That's awesome. The origin of the narwhal. And if she ever loses her pointer, she can use her horn as the pointer.
She can use her little horn. That's adorable. Oh my gosh, thank you, Rooster. That is wonderful.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, who's this? Is this Astroxo? This next one?
Yes.
he would be the barbecue pit master.
The s'more master.
The s'more master. He'd be awesome at all of them. I mean, he could barbecue and then we put s'mores on there.
Do they have nerves in their horns that hurt?
What happens if the wave puts the, it's got to be in the...
It'll be on a beach.
Yeah. And what happens if...
You just have to do it. I mean, just like any camping, you need to have a nice calm night. I think it's a beach camping, definitely. I don't know if it has nerves because it's a tooth, isn't it, technically?
I think so. Yeah, it's a
so it might have
great big front tooth.
But they fight with it, so I don't know.
Probably not that one.
All right, so this one is pandas.
Pandas.
Is that a luchador?
That's awesome. It is. And this poor Party Mouse is sad for the first time ever.
Yeah, because Party Mouse is stuck in a friggin' luchador match with a narwhal. He's getting skewered. I'd be terrified. But yeah, Party Mouse is scared for the first time ever. And he's a luchador too. That narwhal looks super happy.
Yeah, he's pretty confident.
That reminds me of the Street Fighter red tape Where it's like supposed to be, it's like, this is supposed to be a fighting match and you have claws. You're going to kill someone.
Yes, with Vega. So this is a hand-to-hand combat and you want to have 3 knives strapped to your knuckles. How's that fair? Well, it's very important to my fighting style. Well, how about just bring a tank? I mean, that would make you win more too, right? Well, that's a fantastic idea. I could jump, roll, tank. You guys should look it up. It's Pete Holmes, the Pete Holmes Show.
Pete Holmes Show. He did
Street Fighter Red
Tape. It's hilarious.
He also did the X-Men, which you may have
He's firing the X-Men. It's wonderful.
He plays Professor X, and he's firing the X-Men, and it's great.
And so I just feel like a narwhal as a luchador is the same thing. It's supposed to be a wrestling match, but he's got a horn, like a skewer.
So we're moving on to the Scoodles for the night.
Alright, so the Scoodle theme is...
Painting with a mouse.
Painting with a mouse is the theme.
This is Grace.
Good texture.
Grace did that.
Good texture.
Oh, that mouse looks cute. Super happy.
Yeah, super cute.
And it's totally a mouse. Like, every bit of that. Well done. And did you notice the shadow she did to ground it?
Mm-hmm.
Which, it really does the good level.
Mm-hmm. So you can see that it's laying down and everything. That's
nicely done,
that's great.
Grace.
That's
I
awesome.
like it. That's a cute little mouse.
And
May's
this
drawing.
is May.
Oh, that's cute. Oh my gosh, my mom brought my dad too for sketching sketch.
Hi there.
Hi. We're looking at pictures. The theme tonight was drawing with a mouse, and so this is what May drew. If you notice, it's May, and a mouse is drawing right next to her.
Awesome. They're drawing
She did a
together.
good background and stuff. Like you were talking about, you added background to yours. She did great background. Got the door and a picture in the background and everything.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So she did really good environment. I
They're
think May's
painter
always
friends.
been doing good environments. I think she's the one that's done them in the past. She does very detailed backgrounds.
Yes. Nice. Very nice. Next we have Dan.
Aww.
It's a painting mouse.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. We're gonna have to send these to Jason, by the way. Just to razz him a little. I used to have pet mice as a kid, and this is making me remember back to my pet mouse. I only had one. I had a pet mouse named Snowy. It was albino. It was adorable.
Oh, that's awesome. Super cute.
And that reminds me of Snowy right there. Mom has all sorts of funny stories. Someone brought a pet mouse for my brother for his birthday party, and they just brought it in a paper towel and didn't tell anyone. So they in a paper bag. And they just put it next to all the other presents on the table. A mouse in a paper bag.
All right. I'm sure it turned out fine, right?
Luckily, one kid went over and I think there's a mouse in there.
There's a thing moving in that present.
And we already had other mice in the pet mice in the house, so we had temporary storage for it.
So this is Killer Glove. Mighty Mouse flying around looking super cool is not helping. That would make it hard to paint from life.
Well, if you're painting with a mouse, wouldn't fur make a really good texture on your...
Or the feet.
Mm.
And then you could get really fine points with the end of the tail, too. The fur would make a wonderful texture. You're right, Mom. But yeah, trying to paint someone as they're flying would be very, very difficult. Is he drawing Mountain Dew instead?
Mm-hmm. It's an excellent subject. I've always wanted to do a nerd still life where it's like Mountain Dew and game controllers and Doritos
but done in the total classic.
But yeah, like totally classical style. The very pretty rendering and oil painting.
I don't even. Whose is this one?
This is Wen Lu.
Oh, yay!
Oh wait, no, this is Cat's BFF.
Oh,
Sorry.
dark as usual. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh.
Oh, you did go dark. Wow, she's getting really good at the realistic hand drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the realistic hand, realistic shading, realistic gore.
This is Kat's BFF that did this painting. She's a 12-year-old girl. She loves to go dark. But yeah, she's getting the shading, everything. That's a really, really good sketch from life. Oh, they said it's Wenlu.
Oh, right, I got it backwards.
I was like, this does not look like Kat's BFF's style. That's Wenlu. And Wenlu went dark too.
Sorry. That was Wenlu, okay.
That was
Kat's BFF.
Oh gosh, but Kat's BFF went dark too.
Well, this is why I mistook the two.
We got a Kat's BFF. Calm down. She's a little freaking out. It's okay. But either way, very nice realism. I guess Wendy's done that before, so.
Yeah, that's.
Asteroxo says this is worse. The Kat's BFF is worse than the painting with a mouse dipped in. Oh, yes, it's dragging Party Mouse along.
It's painting with a mouse.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty worse.
And Kat's BFF's classic bleeding eyes. See, this one would have come up first. I would have absolutely known.
Yes, this is Steve that tells me. Asteroxo says he's learning to sleep. Asteroxo is Kat's BFF's dad. He says he's learning to sleep with one eye open.
This is Roosters.
So anyway, thank you both, Wen and Kat's BFFs. You guys know we make mistakes. That's why you're here.
Yes.
It's more entertaining.
We probably scared off Poison Stripes entirely because I kept forgetting.
Yeah, Poison wasn't here. She's usually here. We miss you, Poison.
Mm-hmm, we miss you.
This is Rooster. This is another Kat's BFF's friend.
Painting, it's a self-portrait. Painting with the mouse. Going off into
going
infinity.
off into forever where it's taking the picture.
Cool.
Mouseception.
That's an interesting, yeah. It's an interesting
The mouse
idea.
just sitting on her shoulder. Your sister always kept a pet rat, and then she trained it to sit on her shoulder. And it just sat there for hours and would just hang out on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
When she was a kid.
His name was Root Beer.
Wen says, this is because they haven't joined in 4 months. This is their punishment. No, I'm just kidding. We did miss you, Wen. It was good to see you back. And yes, we are punishing you. But I like your realistic sketch. It was very nice. And Kat's BFF was pointing out in the other one, she had a computer mouse and the mouse on the shoulder into Mouseception.
This is Asteroxos. The mouse is the art director. Faster! Did you read the description?
I like his little fedora.
Yeah.
Faster! More drawing! Keep going! I like his little mini drawing too. There's actually good movement to it.
Very cool.
Very nice. The mouse, yeah. Party Mouse might be your art director soon, Steve. That's what's gonna happen.
Uh-oh. What would Party Mouse have me draw?
I don't know. So this is Panda's mouse, and if you notice, she took a mouse, like computer mouse, and then anthropomorphized it.
It's so many mouses.
It's
so
a
many
construction.
Mises.
It's an architect mouse.
Party Mouse, computer mouse, architect mouse. It's awesome.
It's adorable. Party Mouse doesn't look too skewered after
He survived.
With the
That's
narwhal luchador.
I am glad. I like how you've incorporated the design of the mouse into the overalls and everything. That's cool.
Yep, and he really punched home the architect mouse because it's got the paper, but then it also has the little square. Whose is this one?
This is Anyo's.
She did the opposite of yours. That's cute.
That's super cute.
I like the personality in that mouse. It has a lot of personality in it, and it's painting. Oh, that's so cute.
Somehow it's related to Miss Piggy.
I don't know. That's so adorable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she's painting a mouse in the background holding a daisy. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is like the opposite of yours where you're painting a mouse. She needs a mouse painting.
That is awesome.
That's cute. That's super cute. And she signed, did you notice the mouse signed the painting?
Mrs. Rat. Okay, I think that's everybody.
Let us know if we missed
If I
anyone.
missed you, let me
and
know.
we are sorry. But yes.
But that's super cool. So all we have left is some squam work. What should we do for squam work?
What should we do for squam work? Any ideas? Next week's squam work. Erwin? Any ideas?
They're both shrugging, so we will do...
What do you want to see him draw? What do you want to see everyone draw next week?
I have no idea.
Let's do...
Dan says make it easy. Well, how hard or easy you make your squam work is up to you.
Unusual locomotion.
What?
So that can be a weird vehicle or a weird car, or it can be some other weird means of moving around, growing wings, whatever. It's the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
So, unusual locomotion.
Jumping stick.
That can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could do a
pogo
pogo stick. Or zombie shuffle, as Mom is mimicking here.
That's completely shuffle.
I figured I wouldn't make it as specific as like a crazy clown car or something, but it could be a crazy clown car.
Some unusual locomotion, however you want. Some weird way of getting around.
So, cool.
Should I draw a picture for Joe where it's me riding on Joe's back to go to the dessert table?
Yes. Yes. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, and hope to see you again next week.
Yeah, make sure it's again Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Remember, art makes life better. Don't forget to be awesome, and unusual locomotion.
Bye, everybody. Hearts.
Bye.